fraud. ABC News has projected Joe Biden as or will be the president-elect. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Allie Peters.
And I'm Phil Aldridge. But President Donald Trump has not conceded. News 9's Natalie Sapila has a closer look at what happens next.
As we inch closer to January, President Trump continues to challenge the election results so far and says he will not concede. Experts say it's a transition process unlike any we've seen in recent history.
While the nation doesn't always agree when it comes to politics, one thing is for certain. It's been an unprecedented year.
Clearly, this election is no exception.
And while we now have a projected winner in Joe Biden, it's also clear that President Trump won't be conceding the election anytime soon. It's a departure from the usual presidential tradition of calling to concede and congratulate, a tradition President Trump says shouldn't take place until all votes are counted.
The American people absolutely do deserve fair and verifiable elections, right? And I think that you see senators and political leaders on both sides agreeing with that.
In addition to saying he will not concede, the president also saying he plans to challenge the results of the election in court. Kenneth Mayer, a political science professor at UW-Madison, says this is also a departure from the norm.
It makes governing hard, that American politics is as polarized now as it has been any time in the last 140 years.
So what happens if the president does not concede, even up until noon on January 20th, 2021? The answer?
We don't need President Trump to concede the election to move to the next administration.
Once the Electoral College votes are cast, which will happen on December 14th, this isn't a decision he gets to make.
Presh says these breaks from election tradition this year could have major implications on how the public perceives elections and the role of the president in the long term.
There are multiple dangers. One of them is just strictly our health in the strength of our democratic process.
Joe Biden has begun the process of assembling his team, even as some states continue to count ballots. In Wausau, I'm Natalie Sapila, News 9 WAOW.